Covering mental health in music can sometimes be a tricky avenue to navigate. Mental health is universal and something every human being has to worry about or maintain. But it's also something that is a fragile subject and if not done well can come across as a salesperson trying to take advantage of vulnerable people. For a lot of pop music's history, mental health has often been sold in self-empowerment anthems, from I Will Survive to Christina Aguilera's Beautiful to Miley Cyrus's Flowers. There's a common thread of resilience, independence, and self-reliance that run throughout all of these songs. What's often not explored on pop radio, or at least wasn't at the time of Logic's 1800, but has become increasingly more common since sad girl aesthetics took the pop world by storm, is when you're not strong enough to make it through a mental rut by yourself, and want and need help. And not only that, but utilizing a resource that is specifically made to combat extreme mental health situations. In many ways, the song 1800 can feel like a hokey charity single, but in 2017, it made a pretty vast impact, becoming a big hit for all three artists involved, with Alessia Cara and Khalid taking on the singing parts. 1800 is not drenched in symbolism or metaphors. It's straight to the point with a chorus that reads, I don't want to be alive, I just want to die today. I don't want to be alive, I just want to die. And of course, we can't forget Logic's misplaced ad-lib during the hook, which comes directly after he delivers an emotionally heavy message in the verses. I feel like I'm out of my mind, it feel like my life ain't mine. Who can relate? Woo. It can come across as trying to sell relatability too hard, and perhaps it was the most obvious sign of Logic's tacky motives for creating the song, which would come to the surface a bit later. That part is so obnoxious. No one needs a hype man for suicide ideation. I ultimately feel like the entire song treats mental health more like a convenience switch. I do think there is a genuine earnestness about it, somewhere in the lyrics, but overall the subject matter is not handled with much care. It's certainly something young people can easily connect to and digest, especially during the height of 13 Reasons Why mania, which is when this song took the world by storm. I imagine that the song would have been a bit more tasteful if it was an Alessia and a Khalid collab only. Now, the song did in fact make a positive impact, and whether the song is found bad or good by listeners, that is an undeniable great feat, with there being a reported 50% increase in usage of the hotline, and setting record numbers for the amount of people seeking help through the hotline. Logic and Porte spent the next few years after the song's success reminding the world how the song benefited his career and pockets. He's dropped many references about the song throughout the years. In 2019 he said, "When them soccer moms pull up in they van while I ride, like oh my god children it's the 1800 guy, but my door's suicide." That same year he notably made headlines when he said, "Her then I bounce, hell nah, I can't do no date. 1800 then I kill the pussy, who can relate." Rolling Stone slammed the line stating, "It isn't clear why the family rapper would decide to invoke his most popular and sensitive song to talk about his sexual prowess." That same year in his song Limitless, he's quoted saying, "1800 made my bank account look like a phone number." Which, to my point, draws back to his infamous ad-lib, call out, "Who can relate? Woo." There's a sense of overselling when it comes to that part of the song to the song's own detriment. But Logic clearly had bigger plans for this song than the message, and that's to elevate his career. There's nothing wrong with wanting a song to do well, but taking on this whole character for the song of this very serious subject, just to brag about its monetary benefits, is odd. Logic has gone on record saying that he didn't expect 1800 to be a hit, and that he had spent his entire career trying to make hits to no avail up until that point. And I don't believe him for 1 second. 1800 was a deliberate effort to get a hit in my opinion. It featured Logic going in an extremely pop-driven direction, it had two of the hottest young music stars at that point in time featured, publicized viral performances, a massively budgeted video, and the music video is more powerful than the song itself. And obviously, it tackles a universal subject that was heavy in the pop culture consensus during its release. Perhaps 1800 would be a bit more enduring if it wasn't for some of the flawed songwriting, and obvious pandering, and the ad-lib. We could always deal without a hype man when it comes to the topic of this song.